Hey everybody, Mr. Clausen here. This is going to be a long one. It's going to be a good one though because we are going to go over our final project, at least half of it. So let me share my screen, go open. I'm going to post this to Google Classroom here shortly so everybody can get a chance. And it is what we're doing today in class, which we're going over this long rubric, making sure you guys know exactly what you need to do. And then we'll just have a little study hall of a day and relaxing day. So not much new lessons or anything you need to return in except for your Hogwarts homework due tomorrow. So let's jump right in. It is now going to be live. It is the 2021 long-awaited final project. It has gotten bigger from last year, but I think all of it is an essential part of what I think math class is in 7th grade. So is due on May 17th. Okay, so that is actually the day before our finals period actually begins. So if you're diligent and you work hard, you're going to get it done before your finals. And then those of you that are in class and in person will have a very relaxing day. You won't have to worry about coming in here and crushing an exam. We're going to do it all beforehand. So a lot can happen in a year, and today is April 22nd. So it's assigned this day. I just put that there so you guys know you have like just about a whole month to get all this done. And it is a lot of work, but a lot can happen in a year. So a word on your final project. Only half of this final is about mathematics, only half. The other half is about values and poetry and thinking about yourself, thinking about your family, quotes, pictures, and I'll talk about all that, but I just want you to know that it's not all about the mathematics in here, and you guys know that. So it's a nice portfolio of your goals in your life. So it's a final project. It's a lot to do with like life design, but it's 7 parts. So it's values-based, will require a little bit of reflection and review of your life. 50% is the math exam, which will be sent out on May 3rd, 2021, due May 17th, 2021. Meaning half of it is gonna be an actual hard copy exam, okay? But I'm giving you 2 weeks. It's a take-home exam, and it'll actually look a lot like our homeworks. So it'll be 50 questions though, so it'll be almost double our homeworks. And yeah, so it's going to be more like an actual exam, but it's a take home, so you can, you know, leverage your resources, try to do it as much as you can with just your brain and test yourself. And that's an important part. We'll also be taking the STAR math test, but that's not tied to this final. So step 1, that's one point of it. And then the other 6 parts are the important pictures, important quotes about your life, drawing your dreams, and must be hand drawn. Answer the 3 questions in complete sentences. They're only 1 sentence each, so that's only 3 sentences. Letter to self for 8th grade graduation, and then contribute to the class Ranga, which I will explain, and then copy and paste / insert your dream board, I am from home, your whole Aulana video, your genealogy project, and your memorization project. So there's a lot that you need to kind of organize in order to create this really nice portfolio for your end of the year, okay? So a quote on the right says, your thoughts either create the life you want or keep you from it. So the rubric, all right. I'm gonna talk about each of these in extension. And like I said, this is a long video, so I know that's tough, but please listen so you do not miss anything. You need to submit 5 pictures and correctly format 5 quotes with each one of those. Gets you 5 points. You need to draw your dreams, so you need to include 5 colors. Student answers all 3 of the questions with complete sentences. Complete sentences is a big thing there. So you get 5 points for that. This second half is letter to the self. It needs to be 10 sentences long. So right now we're up to 13 sentences of writing. And it has complete sentences, and it needs to be formatted as a letter. That means you need to type dear, your name, comma, space, or etcher, tab. It needs to look like a letter. Then you need to contribute to our class Ranga. So a student completes a haiku and a couplet. That's what you got to do to get those 5 points. If you do not complete a haiku or a couplet, you get somewhere in the middle there. And if you do not complete that portion, you get a 0. Copy and paste. So you need to copy and paste all the materials. That is your I am from poem, Ho'olauna, genealogy project, and the memorization project at the bottom of this project. And then you will get those 5 points. So all you had to do is if you just go into those from this year, click Control-C on the slides, and then Control-V at that open space, and you will get it. This project is out of 50 points. It is half of your final, so perfect score here is 50 out of 50. Now, the second half would be, so that was 1/4, 1/4, 1/2. This is the, like I said, this is the final exam, which will have 50 questions. I haven't quite made it all yet, but it's going to look almost identical to one of our math homeworks, but it'll just be double in length. So it would be a big one. Design thinking. So this one is, you're going to include 5 pictures about your life, either photos you took or of you and others. You can include photos of places, things, or other things that you love. Really any photo, except you cannot include photos you search for on the internet. And I will know, I can tell. Secondly, you must include a quote that has meaning to you in your life or inspires you. The quote must be formatted correctly. So here's an example. Comma, left quotation mark, whatever you are, comma, be a good one, period, right quotation mark, dash, the quoter, or the person you're quoting, Abraham Lincoln. The quote above has an introductory comma and then a left quotation mark, capital letter, punctuation, noun and verb agreement, and then a close quotation mark with a closing punctuation. And you need to credit the speaker of the quote with capital letters for the proper noun. You may use other quotes in other languages. However, if you do this, please also place an English translation next to it as well. So if you use Hola Noyaos, or you have a quote from a Spanish book that you like, or a Japanese movie that's your favorite, or anime, you can include it. So here are my examples. Remember, I try not to make you guys do anything I wouldn't do myself. So if anyone wants to be first, he must be very last. And the example, and the servant of all. That's example 1. Education is la educación es el arma más poderosa para cambiar el mundo. Sorry, it's been a while since I've read that in Spanish. English translation, education is the most powerful weapon to change the world. There's a picture on the left. Here's a picture on the right. Quotes. That is number 3, number 4, and number 5. So you will include your pictures. Now I took this photo, so that's why it's not of me, but I took that photo. So you can include 5, you can do more, you can do, but you have to do 5. 5 quotes, 5 pictures, section 1. So this is section 2. You are going to watch the video on the left side. You're going to draw your dreams based on the templates covered. You must hand draw them on a different piece of paper. You need to include 5 unique different colors, and 5 shades of one color will not count. So if you use gray, and then another different gray, and then light gray and dark gray, that's not. No. Upload a photo of the drawing into your final project. So you need to know how to upload a photo. Take a picture on a cell phone, take a picture on your webcam, and then upload it to your slides. So here it is. The video on the left, okay, is the one you need to watch. The video on the right is additional resource for her. It's Patty Dabrowski. She's super awesome, and the video on the left is great. And you're gonna watch it on the left, and then that will give you the template. Here you can see, we remember things better when they are attached to a picture, 65% better at it, actually. So you're gonna draw what is your current state on the left. You're gonna draw the 1-year goals, see it, believe it, act on it. Those are in color. And then on the right is the desired new reality. So you can see, this is Mr. Klausner's example: basketball, travel, doctorate degree, school, cabin, things I care about, who I am, bench press, Hawaii. So here's the template: current state, steps for achievement. On the right, desired reality, see it, believe it, act on it. This is the template. So if you want to just have a template here and include this, last year a lot of students did that. They drew their thing on the left, uploaded a photo in here, and then the thing on the right, they uploaded it on the right, and it looked really good. Okay, so think about your life path: elementary school, middle school at St. Louis, COVID, which has been a huge part of our lives, high school graduation. I want you to think about your life beyond high school, and then the end goal is your dreams coming true, which, as you guys know, Mr. Klausner's dreams have absolutely come true. And it was always a dream of mine to be a teacher in Hawaii, so blessed. The next section, we'll be responding to 3 questions. Remember, you must write at least 1 complete sentence. This means you have to have a capital letter to start, noun and verb agreement, and a closing punctuation mark. Feel free to write more if you would like. So the question 1 is, what do you fear? This is section 3. What do you fear? this, try to stay away from like, I'm afraid of spiders, period. Yeah, I get it, but more so this is like, you're supposed to think a little bit deeper about what do you really want in life, and what do you fear in that, what might not come true, or or your fear of loneliness, or fear of not achieving. So I want you to think about, what do you fear? And how do you define success? This maybe is the most important question you're ever going to ask yourself, because a lot of people will define success differently than you. Maybe it's money or status or fame or power, but those are not intrinsic ways to define success. At least in my life, I define success by friendships, and how I treat my siblings, and whether I feel like I do the right thing in society. So whether I love what I do I have purpose and passion? Those are how I define success, not money and status and fame. So how do you define success? And for what in life do you feel most grateful for? So think about all the research that shows that those people who are more grateful, or are meditative on the blessings in their life, are just a lot happier, a lot more fulfilled. So what are you most grateful for? It could be family, friends, opportunities, anything that's come about. Okay, so that was section 3. That one's really quick, so we're up to 3 writing sentences. The next section will be responding to your 2 previous letters to self. We did one in August of 2020 and one in January of 2021. You can look back on them if you have them. It's been really a weird year because the first one we did, everybody was online, so I didn't get those actually hard copy. And then the second round, I also had you do it online. So I don't have the hard copies, which normally I would, and then you could actually read them and respond. So what this does, though, you need to think about where you're going to be in 1 year. Okay, so you're going to ask yourself questions. You're going to format it as a letter. You can see that on the right if they're from Windsor Castle. You're going to write the introduction, dear, and your name. You're going to make it personal. The more you write, the better. You're going to like it when I give it back to you in 1 year, which I'm gearing up to give it back to the 8th graders here very soon. Talk about what is going on in your life right now. Digital school, in-person school, finals, COVID, last week of 7th grade, friends, sports, family, beach, hobbies, last weeks of 7th grade. Write down a goal or 2 you have for the next year, grades you want, skills you want to learn, improve on, relationships, etc. Ask yourself future questions. Ask your future self questions. I like to do this. Hey, are you still dunking? Have you bought a car? Have you traveled anywhere? Is your leg healed? Are you feeling healthy? And then you can respond to what you wrote in your previous letters if you can remember them. So sometimes I always ask about like the election. I was like, oh, who won the election? And I would write back, oh, well, it was this person or this or that. How's my grandmother doing? She's doing great, right? Closing, sincerely, sign your name, and then also include the date. So my date was today, April 22nd. There. So this is my example. So it's like, hey, how's it going? There's Mr. Klausner. It is formatted as letter. There's so much to cover from these last 12 months. I'll start with asking you how your 7th year of teaching went, because I'm thinking about what am I going to be in 1 year. So were you able to go back to school in the August of fall, full-time with students, so all the students back? How did the 6th graders fare in your 7th grade class? How is Margot, my niece? She's almost 2 by the time you get this letter. Wow, how time flies. Were you able to dunk a basketball like your goal states? I hope all your family members are healthy and happy. How did your 7th grade students do in 8th grade? Do they come back to see you often? I hope all is well and you're doing great in Honolulu. Sincerely, Mr. Klausner, April 2021. Okay? Then, so that's section 4. Section 5, I told you this is a long video. Whoa. Contribute to the class Ranga. So I actually just learned about this. A Ranga is when a group of people over the course of many hours and days and months, maybe even years, they each write a haiku. That's a poem. It's a Japanese style poem that has 5 syllables, 7 syllables, and 5 syllables. And then a rhyming couplet, which is 1 sentence, and then it has an ending rhyme with the next sentence. So a couplet means 2, like a couple. And you're gonna write on this topic, how was this year in opportunity class? How was your year in math class? So you can talk about the games we played, the math we learned, the projects we did. How was it? Explain it in a haiku and a rhyming couplet. And what a real ranga is one person would write the haiku and then the next person would write the couplet. And it's actually, you write 100. So that would be 5, and you would write 100 of those as a group. So we are going to do this. We're not going to build off each other's, but everyone is required to write 1 haiku and 1 rhyming couplet. If you are in the honors class, you are writing 2 haikus and 2 couplets. Okay, so we have 80 students, about 20 of them are going to do it. So the honors guys, that's their that's one of their extra little boosts. So how do you write a haiku? It's a Japanese poem of 17 syllables, 5, 7, and 5. So there you can see Japanese poem, should be 5, of 17 syllables, 7, 5, 7, and 5. Okay. So it goes 5, 7, 5. Pick the topic. Brainstorm your ideas. I've told you the topic. It's how do you feel about this year in math class? Brainstorm words about this. It could be exhilarating, could be fun, could be dreadful, whatever it is, no worries. You can brainstorm first and then you format. You have a word bank, that's a good start, and then it goes of 3 lines, 5 syllables in the first one, 7 syllables in the second, and 5 syllables in the next one. And you have to follow that format. So you're gonna insert it here, okay? Insert yours in here. And I will let you copy and paste all this, right? And then a rhyming couplet, a very famous one is obviously, you guys know Mr. Klausner loves Shakespeare, a lot of his writings. So it says, for thy sweet love remembered such wealth brings, that then I scorn to change my state with kings. So notice it's a whole sentence. It ends with a rhyming sound to the second one. So it goes A, okay? And then you're gonna insert that there. And then what I'll do is probably mix and mash them up, and we'll have, by the end of it, we'll have 100 haikus and 100 rhymes. And I think it'll be pretty cool. I've never done this before, but I think it'll be a nice touch. Lastly, very simple. Like I said, go back to your dream board from September. Go back to your I Am From home and your whole Olana video from October, November. Go back to your genealogy project from December. Go back to your memorization project from February. Just copy what you did for those. Just go into them, open them up, Control-C on the slide, and then you're just gonna paste them in here. So that way, your final project is gonna have all these questions, all the haiku, all the letters itself, and then it's gonna also have your final project. So it will become somewhat like a portfolio of all the projects that you did in this class, which I think is really valuable and is due. And that's it, you're done. Save it as a Google Slides PowerPoint, or you can download it as a PDF and submit it into Google Classroom. Reach out to me if there are any questions about this final. There will be an end of year survey to complete here soon, but for now, this is the end of the 7th grade math. I hope you all enjoyed the project, and I look forward to seeing you all in the fall. So that is kind of like the final send-off for that May 17th day. And that is it. Here we are back at the beginning, 2021 final project. So I know that was super long. Thank you for bearing with me. Please watch this, please study this, please go over it, and we will have a great class day getting started on this, as well as going over the big rubric for each class, okay? All right, see y'all later, bye-bye.